I'm Robert Martin. I'm 65 years old, been retired now for 7 years, and I want to talk to you about something that doesn't get enough attention. See, before I retired, I spent a lot of time running the numbers. I had spreadsheets, I had projections, I was looking at my 401k, Social Security estimates, the whole 9 yards, and I felt pretty good about where I stood financially. I'd been disciplined my whole career, 35 years at the same company, started on the shop floor, worked my way up to running operations across multiple plants. I captured every dollar of that company match from day one. I kept my lifestyle flat even when the raises came. I mowed my own lawn, fixed my own stuff. I did everything quote-unquote right. But here's what I almost missed. It's not about how much you've saved. It's not about your net worth. There are behaviors, habits, that can quietly undo all of that. And I've seen it happen to people I know. Almost happened to me in a couple of spots. So let me walk you through the 4 money habits that I believe will wreck your retirement if you don't deal with them before you stop working. Number 1, carrying credit card balances. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying don't use credit cards. I use mine for everything. If someone steals my card number, that's Visa's problem, not mine. But carrying a balance? That's different. That's a mindset issue. That tells me, and it told me about myself at one point, that you want things now and you'll figure out the money later. Back in my early 40s, Linda and I had a stretch where we let 2 cards creep up. Nothing crazy, but we were carrying maybe $1,500 month to month. And I remember looking at that statement and thinking, this is not who I am. This is not how I was raised. Growing up in Greenville, in that little ranch house, we didn't carry debt, period. So we killed it, paid it off in 2 months and never looked back. But I'll tell you, if we had taken that habit into retirement, on a fixed income, that's a slow bleed that never stops. Number 2. Car loans. This one hits close to home too. When I got promoted to regional operations, I thought, you know what? I've earned a nice truck. And I did. Financed it. Had the payment. And it wasn't the end of the world, but it was a symptom. It was me telling myself I deserved something instead of asking whether I needed it. If you're in your mid-50s and you're still rolling car payments, you need to ask yourself, am I keeping vehicles long enough? Am I buying more car than I need? People always say, oh, I got 0% financing. I've got the cash invested somewhere else. Fine, maybe. But in my experience, the people who go into retirement with 0 debt sleep a whole lot better than the ones playing arbitrage games with car loans. Number 3, a mortgage. Now this one's tricky and I know it's sensitive. Linda and I paid off our house before I retired. That was non-negotiable for me. But I know people who still carry a mortgage into retirement on purpose. They've got a low rate, 2.5% or whatever. And they say the math works out because their investments earn more. And look, I get the logic. It makes sense on paper. But retirement is not paper. Retirement is Tuesday morning and you're looking at your accounts and the market just dropped 8% and you've still got that mortgage payment due. I wanted peace of mind. I wanted to know that no matter what happened in the market, the roof over our heads was ours. About 30% of the folks I talk to still have a mortgage going into retirement. Most of them can pay it off, they're just choosing not to. I just say think hard about how that's going to feel when you no longer have a paycheck coming in. Number 4, and this is the one that almost got me, not having a real budget. I was an engineer. I managed multi-million-dollar operations. But when it came to my own household spending, for years it was just kind of a vibe. I knew roughly what we spent, somewhere around $6,000–7,000 a month, but I couldn't tell you exactly where it all went. And that's a problem because when you retire, some expenses disappear. You're not contributing to your 401k anymore. The kids are off the payroll. No more phone bills, no more insurance. But other things go up. You've got time now, and time costs money. You're traveling, you're picking up hobbies, you're eating out more because why not? You're retired. I didn't sit down and do a real budget until about a year before I left the company, and I'm glad I did because the number I thought I needed and the number I actually needed were about $800 apart. That's not nothing. So get a piece of paper, open a spreadsheet, whatever works for you, and map it out. What's going away, what's going up, and what does your actual retirement life cost? So those are my 4: credit card balances, car loans, a mortgage, and no budget. I'm not saying any one of these is an automatic disqualifier. I'm not trying to scare anyone. But in my experience, living it, watching friends and former colleagues go through it, the people who struggle in retirement almost always have at least one of these hanging over them. And notice I didn't say anything about how much you've saved or invested. That stuff matters, obviously. But these 4 habits, they're the ones that quietly eat you alive if you're not paying attention. I'm Robert Martin, That's what I've learned in 7 years of being retired.